What is up, everyone? Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast, sponsored by FanDuel. This is the North Shore 9 post-game show brought to you by Romanti Brothers. I'm Neil. I'm with DiNardo. DiNardo, that was terrible.
You sound excited.
Oh
Like
my
this is a good
gosh.
game or something.
I'm deflated.
Yeah.
I was, doing the post-game stuff. I even changed the title to like Pirates blank the Cardinals. It's going to talk about how we shut out the Cardinals for like 37 straight innings. And then the ninth inning happens. So,
Yeah.
bad.
I was all ready to go. I had my LED light on. I had the camera on. I had the mixer on. Easy sailing. Santana made the first out. Let's get this thing ready. Let's get this thing ready. And I turned the light off. I turned the camera off. I turned the mixer off. Time to go back to watching the game.
And what a painful game it was. We should probably start in that ninth inning just because it's so unlike Santana, right? Where we're up 2-0 going into the ninth. You feel really good. The Cardinals have had no answer for you whatsoever this entire game. Like they had one hit going into the ninth.
Yeah. I mean, this was a bullpen game, and like this pitching shut down this offense completely.
Yeah. Like just for 8 innings, like, you had a perfect game after 20 batters. And Santana goes 0.2 innings, 4 hits, 4 runs, 2 walks, and 2 home runs. And the Pirates lose a game that they were in cruise control for 99% of it.
Absolutely. That's what made this one frustrating because, again, it's one game. You could put it that way. But this was a game that you had in the bag in a crucial week in the sense of, I mean, you already took Milwaukee. This is a big week because you're facing the Cardinals for 4 games, the Reds for 3. Mm-hmm. You're facing the NL Central teams, and you could, make some noise right now. And we talk about this team has found ways to win, and that's something they've done this year pretty well. They found a way to lose this one.
Yeah, they did. And I mean, like in the long scheme of things, like we're 16-3. We're still pretty darn good against the NL Central this year. Like, it's really not time to hit the panic button, but man, today just sucks. Like, there's just no other words for it. It was a terrible, terrible last 20 minutes after a pretty relaxing, like, beforehand, I went for a walk. I had the radio on listening to the game. I was having a great time. And then this happened. And so my day is ruined.
Well, luckily there's only like 2.5, 3.5 hours left.
Yeah.
So 2.5. Yeah. Not too bad. But yeah, like I know we want to talk about the ninth, and it like to me, like it just sucks. It's one of those games like it just stinks that this happened. It happened though. It kind of is what it is. Like I don't really like you blame Dennis Santana, like he didn't do his job, obviously.
Yeah.
Right. But like he does his job. He's been outstanding ever since the Pirates acquired him. I mean, like there was a lot of scrutiny on that pickup. Oh, here we go. Like whatever. This is another trash pickup of Ben Cherington, but he's turned into a diamond. I mean, this guy's been excellent. And he earns. And again, I use that word correctly. He earned his right to be the closer on this team. Coming in here, like I mentioned, what was it? 2.11 ERA he had in like 127 innings. Yeah. 127.2 innings pitched coming into this game as a Pirate with a 2.11 ERA. I mean, he's been lights out.
Yeah.
Sometimes this happens.
It does. Like, and it's, he got his one bad game so far this year. I'm still going to stake my claim that he's one of the best relievers in baseball just because he's had those results. And I don't really want to let like this one blow up, like define him. I've seen a lot of stuff. People were saying like, he needs to go on an IL stint. Like people are saying he's not good enough to be closer. Like suddenly all these people, like it's been one bad game.
There were some wild claims tonight. That's why I had to put it out there. I was like, Pirates fans are amazing. I mean, they are. They keep you entertained. But yeah, I mean, how many like this guy DFA this bum, get him out of here. I've never trusted him as a closer. I've never trusted me. He's been, like overrated, and I don't try. Like, how do you have 120 like over 2.5 years? Like, how do you have 127 innings pitched as a reliever, and it's still just smoke and mirrors to have a 2.11 ERA? Like, at what point do you say like, no, this guy's legit?
Yeah. No, I mean it sucks just because again you don't want to happen against the Cardinals, and it's probably what makes it even worse. This is the Cardinals,
Right.
But no, like trying to make like a whole stand about Santana's time here because of this game. I mean, it's emotional. I was feeling pretty emotional hopping on here, so I get it. But no, it's his fault they lost tonight. But I still back him, and we just have to move on. Now, I do want to ask because I feel like there are two decisions we can talk about today. Since we're in the ninth inning, do you think that Santana was left in too long?
Well, at what point? I mean, after the second home run, I guess where I come into here is he's your closer. You give up a home run, you're still up one. You give the second home run. I mean, like, who do you have warming up?
I guess
that's just. but you're really not like. Are you warming up someone as your closer's pitching with a 2-run lead? You know, like, I guess my thing is too, because I've seen that also on here. How do you leave him in on back-to-back home runs? Well, you don't just say, "Oh, someone just go in the game." Like, they got to warm up, and you're not warming someone up when Dennis Santana's in there with a 2-run lead because back-to-back homers are given up. Like, at what point? Like, when do you say go start warming someone up?
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine anyone moved even after the first home run, like
right.
Because maybe other people disagree. I still thought the game was in hand after the first home run. I was kind of like Santana was due for one of those, but he's gonna go get the other 2 outs, and he wasn't, and he didn't. But like, I agree. Like maybe you could say he was left out there a little bit longer, but like the problem with the rationale is like, okay, it's 2 runs. You need extra innings. You've already burned 70% of the bullpen, like you still need arms to go into extra innings, and it didn't work out. But when Alec Burleson is hitting dribblers down the line that go start foul and go fair, it was a sign it wasn't their night.
Yeah. So I guess like we're getting at here is I don't think the loss is on Don Kelly because leaving Santana. Now you could make the argument like after the second home run was given up, better get someone warming up now. At the end of the day, though, it didn't matter. It's not like the Pirates, you're still warming up. Like that other run scores still. Like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like Santana's still pitching in that game. You don't just have someone coming in cold because the second home run was given up, and you're not warming someone up because one home run was given up. So like at the end of the day, I don't put this on Don Kelly and how he managed the ninth inning with the bullpen in Santana. But you're right. Like this is also one of the downfalls of having a bullpen game. Now it was working perfectly until it wasn't. But Dennis Santana was the 8th pitcher used in today's game. Also, so also keep that perspective. It's not like he had a plethora of bullpen arms at his disposal. So like there's a lot of things. Now, if you want, you could make the argument like this is why bullpen games aren't good, and that's on Don Cal. Like that, if anything, that's where a blame could be placed.
Yeah, I just don't know if the manager makes that decisions, but also, like I don't think they expected Ashcraft to be gone for this long, which is why this bullpen game even happened. If I'm going to criticize Kelly for anything, I also want your take on this, just because we're on this. Like, I was shocked to see Dotel leave after 4 innings, and I feel like you could have gotten another inning out of him. I don't know if that changes the 9th. Maybe you still have Santana come in. But I was a little surprised that in a bullpen game, Dotel has been stretched out as a starter in his career. Why don't you let him go another inning? Save your bullpen in a bullpen game.
This is one of those, I think, situations where if it works, it's brilliant. And if it doesn't, now you question it. He looked fantastic. He did. He's getting a lot of swing and misses on that 4-seam. He was pumping 99, 100. He looked good. He looked really good. But in a game where you're kind of left, it's going to be a bullpen game, and you have no off days this week. And he was pitching good. It's 4 innings. Like, why not go out there for a 5th? It looked as if they did score another run, if it was a 3-run game, they were going to keep him in. Because it was just 2 runs, that's when they moved on to the next guy. I don't know, man. You can easily make the argument of having him go out there for a fifth. But
Yeah,
if
and
you
like,
do, and he gives up 2 runs, then now you're looking at, well, you should have pulled him, right? Like, don't play with fire. I guess it's just one of those.
yeah,
It just kind of sucks. Again, it all comes down to they didn't have a pitcher today that they were expecting originally, so they had to do something different today. Seems like Braxton Ashcraft will be back tomorrow in pitching, but yeah, like today they were kind of without it. Now, like you mentioned, Wilber Dotel has been stretched out. Like he is a starter. It's not like you caught up a reliever. You caught up a starter. So I don't send him out there a fifth is kind of how I feel too, because this is going to be a tough week. The bullpen's already been taxed. You got no off days. I don't know. Have someone warm up, have a quick pull ready, but send Wilber Dotel back out there.
Yeah, and like, I mean, I imagine that they probably said Dotel's going 4 innings, unless like something crazy, like maybe if like the game's out of control, they let him go 5. But that was probably the game plan beforehand. You would like to maybe see like a little bit of flexibility there, but again, like up until
Is that a
20
good?
minutes
But like,
ago,
here perspective on like, is that a good plan though? Like just 4 out of your starter.
No, that's a good point. It's like but also like you mentioned 20 minutes ago, no one was really questioning me. Like I had some people were rumbling about it. I was like, why did it take Dotel out? But ultimately, it didn't feel like the Cardinals were going to score if you gave them 18 innings. And now we're here, and that's why we're litigating this. But it just
Right.
It really just I don't think taking Dotel out lost them the game. But it would have been just so like seeing a prospect improve and being able to give your bullpen an extra inning back. I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah. Again, I do want to put that perspective. Like, I don't think Dotel pulling him lost the game either. Like, this kind of goes back to my argument I was making today on Bucko Brew. When we're talking about like Billy Cook, like why wasn't he pitch hit? Like my argument is I'd rather go down with my dogs. They went down tonight with their dog. Like it was Dennis Santana. It happens sometimes, and again, like it stinks at the end of the day. But like it's not like they try to get cute and try to like put Wilber Dotel in for the close or something like that. Like you went down with your guy, and that's going to happen sometimes. It's baseball. You're going to lose.
Yep. And we are still 16-3 despite
13.
So I thought I said 16-13.
I thought you said 3 the first time too, but I didn't correct you because maybe I misheard. But when you said it again, I'm like, okay, no, we're not. I wish we were 16-3.
Yeah, if only. No, 16-13. Like the world is not ending. Like the Pirates are still in a good position. It just again, it's one of the most hated teams in baseball for me, and I think that's what's really done it. Now, we litigated the 9th inning. We should probably though talk about the offense because it started out pretty well. I mean, you get 2 runs early off of May. But after that, it was nothing. Especially against like in the later innings. Like I feel like from the 6th inning on, there was just no threat whatsoever. And you have, Mangum runs himself out of a run. The offense did not do us any favors tonight whatsoever. What did you think about the offense?
I mean, you kind of nailed there. I mean, it was looking good at first. Like you said, like Dustin May is here. He's hasn't had a good start to the year. Of course, injuries have kind of derailed the way his career you thought it was going to go. But I mean, they were getting to him early, and then, like you mentioned, like it just kind of stopped. And again, like it's a 2-run lead. Yes, the Cardinals' offense looked terrible. I mean, again, like the Pirates were literally throwing a no-hitter up to a point. This was a game where you felt like 2 runs was going to be enough, but like you can never just settle for that. It can never just be enough. You can't give yourself outs. So like I do go back to that Mangum one. Not that was going to be a difference maker tonight, obviously again, right?
Yeah.
But it's 2-0, like 3 runs, 4 runs, like keep going would be nice. And it's 2 outs and like the ball's hit to the shortstop. I know he bobbled it, but you're on second base. The ball was hit to the shortstop.
Yeah.
You're rounding third, like trying to go home, and got super aggressive there. And like, I like Jake Mangum as a player. Like he's not like an everyday player. Like he's not the guy that you rely on, but like as the 4th outfielder, as doing some things nicely on the base pass and defensively, he's done some kind of really stupid, silly things this year. And that was kind of one of them.
I think I said this in the last post game I was on. I'm going to say it again. Jake Mangum cannot be a guy who does this stuff. His entire game is centered around being a disruptor on the bases, making that weird contact where you get infield RBIs, RBIs with infield hits. He's going to play good defense. And so far, I feel like he struck out a lot for who he is. He's been making a lot of errors in the outfield, and now this. Like, you have to be a smart player when you have this type of like skill set. You don't have O'Neal Cruz's power to bail you out, And so that's been disappointing, and it cost us a run. And like, butterfly effect and everything. But maybe if it's 3-0, things go down a little differently.
If it's 3-0, Wilber Dotel is still in the game.
Yeah.
Again,
exactly.
Doesn't mean it's going to change, but we're talking about that. Like, then maybe that does change a bit of the outcome here. But yeah.
And I mean, we'll get to positives too. I mean, Mangum did go 2 for 3. He did get the scoring started. So like it was he hit in the second run, I believe. It was not the worst game in the world for him, but that run definitely stings. But something that does sting is Marcelo Ozuna. I mean, another 0 for 4 performance, hitting 161 on the year, OPS at 475. This has been a disaster. Like we're almost in May, and he's playing like Josh Van Meter.
I mean, it's I'm going back to like it's Rowdy Tellez almost essentially.
Yeah,
but I mean, with Tellez, you didn't really expect much, but it's the guy who just looks awful. You expected more in this. I mean, if this was like the same thing with Tellez, like he's not a great hitter, but you expected some type of power there. Now it was kind of, I mean, Marcelo Ozuna, you expect more, but you've certainly expected power. Like last year, like maybe it's not going to be what 2000 or MVP caliber Marcelo Ozuna was, but if anything, it could be quite like last year where he does strike out a good bit. He has a low batting average, but he's still going to have some power. And he's not doing any of that right now. So again, like I go back to like the Rowdy Tellez. It's at least you expected something, like at least be a one-trick pony, and you're a zero-trick pony and one of the worst hitters in baseball now. And yeah, like that week, it looked like it was coming back. I mean, there were some things like I mentioned it earlier. Like there were some things that I was starting to like, and like I could see Marcel heating up, and he did for that week. That homestand in Pittsburgh, he hit well. And then it all just disappeared once they went into Texas, and it's been bad.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like we're talking about, like, I don't know. The at-bats have just been so uncompetitive. It doesn't look like he's getting good contact. He's making terrible swing decisions. And ultimately, he played almost all of last year on a bum hip and is hitting better than what he is doing right now, supposedly fully healthy. And that is crazy. Like, again, I don't think it was a bad decision to move on from Kutch, because Kutch at DH was not getting you to where you wanted to go. But this is way worse than any form of Kutch that we had at any point during the time he came back to Pittsburgh. It's a disgrace. Like, and I know I'm glad, I'm happy at least he'll tell you like accountability. So like he deserves to be booed. He needs to be booed more, because this is just not acceptable for what he's supposed to be.
I mean, 100% accurate. And another thing too is like they also paid $12 million for this guy.
Yeah,
like I mean, especially for the Pirates, that's a sizable amount of money. For a signing, especially for just the DH. He's not even playing the field. He's just a DH. They spent $12 million on this guy, and that's why I go back to like, because of last year, like maybe this isn't the Marcelo Ozuna of old and such, and that's perfectly fine to think of, but at least he'll provide some power. He cannot be this bad. He just simply can't. He cannot be this bad, and he has been. So again, like it's not May yet. It's still April. I'm not ready to just write him off, but he has to do better. And it's getting closer to that. Like, what do you do with him?
You just got to keep moving him down in the order. I mean, I think they've had the right idea where they haven't played him every day. Like, I feel like he's really only gotten like 5 starts a week, and they've been lucky enough that they don't have to like solely depend on him, and like the offense has been good enough. But like tonight is a night that you really needed Ozuna to step up. The rest of the offense wasn't humming. Cruz was out with an injury, with an illness. Sorry, an illness. And he again, middle of the lineup goes 0 for 5. Sorry, 0 for 4. And it's really just a shame because the guy behind him, Nick Gonzalez, goes 3 for 4. Like that could have been a really good combo against the Cardinals tonight, and we got nothing out of it.
Yeah. I don't have much more to say to that. Like he's not good. Now, like you mentioned, like it also is good that he knows, he understands, I mean, he's going about it the right way. You talk about people booing him, like, I mean, I deserve it. But just going about it the right way isn't enough. You also need to produce. That's why you're here. That's why you're given $12 million by the Pittsburgh Pirates of all teams. And again, like I know this isn't, it's not fair to him for this, but like you go back to Kutch and like you're the guy that replaced Kutch. There's a lot of people that feel like Kutch was taken away, like he should be here. You replaced him, and if you're getting paid $12 million to be replacing that guy, you can't be doing this, because then there's a lot of that type of stuff happening.
Yeah. And
I'm sure that other player mentioned is kind of looking back and saying, even though he's not having a great year either, but still.
No. No.
I'm going to save them about $8 million at least.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing, is like $12 million is a lot of money for this team. And again, he was supposed to be like, I feel like even if he hit 20 home runs and like had like a 110 WRC plus or something, that would have been acceptable, and he would have lived up to the contract in my eyes. And he's not, again, you can't be hitting like Rowdy Tellez. I don't care. Like, I don't care if he starts hitting well like in July, like he's costing us games now. I will try to end like a positive note though. And because I'm assuming that you guys talked a bit about Joey Bart yesterday on the post game, right? Yeah. So I will say that I think while we lament Bart and like how pitchers do, I think Davis really deserves some flowers, because the way that just the difference in how the pitching staff goes and operates and works with Davis behind the plate has really been great this year. I mean, like the bullpen game went off without a hitch for 8 innings. I think he calls a really, really good game. And I know catcher ERA is generally like a really, really bad stat that you shouldn't depend on. But I feel like there's some truth here in terms of like how the team goes with Henry Davis.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's some validity. And of course, the prolonged effect of it. I mean, we're going all the way back to the beginning of last year. So you have a whole year and a month worth of numbers to kind of show the large disparity in those numbers. And I think there's a reason why pitchers say they want to pitch with him there. There's a reason why Paul Skeens says, "You're my guy." Right.
Yeah.
I think it's quite fair to say that. And absolutely. And I want to go a step further, because we were talking a little bit about the bullpen as well. And like today, again, minus Dennis Santana, because mostly our talk's been like the middle relievers. The bullpen was excellent once again. Like Montgomery starting off super quick, 1, 2, 3. Justin Lawrence comes in super quick. Like these guys, and maybe you can talk, like they've been put in better situations now, of course, also, and that could be part of it. But like the relief pitching, and again, I'm saying this on the day that the reliever lost the game, giving up 4 runs and 1 out. But regardless, like the relief pitching has looked a lot better, and those guys came out today and they really did their job, Dotel included, but even the outside guys that we're talking about, and even Madsen. Now, let me bring this up. Actually, I wanted to bring this up earlier. I forgot. Another thing. Madsen only threw with 3 pitches today. Like, is that also maybe like, should he have maybe gone another inning?
Maybe. I don't know. Like I don't really have a problem with the plan being Soto 8th inning, Santana 9th inning, or however you want to mix that up. I think that's fine. Like honestly, that's what they've been doing all year, and it's been working. So I understand what you mean, but I'm also of the mind of, again, like how many of these guys are going to be available tomorrow? And you're probably thinking Madsen did his job. Soto and Santana have been nails. Let me save him for tomorrow. So I don't think that's a problem. Maybe you disagree, but I feel like bowl games, like there's just a whole, there's a lot of decisions you have to make, and like a lot of those are premeditated, like before the game. And so I don't know. I don't think besides the extra inning for Dotel, I don't think anything that Kelly did tonight was like egregious.
Yeah. No, that's fair. I wanted to bring it up. I forgot. It just hit me right now. That's why I want to ask you right now, just to do so. But anyways, yeah. At the end of the day, though, again, like the bullpen has been a lot better. So, like, again, that is a positive out of this game as well. And again, I understand Dennis Santana blew it, but like this isn't something he typically does. But also, like Lawrence now 6 straight games scoreless. Montgomery, we talked like these guys have actually looked really good, the middle relievers. So kudos to them as well so far.
Yeah, I agree. And like I guess it must be good. It must be a good thing that like we feel this way after only a second straight loss. It means the expectations have been raised. And again, I don't know if I said this before, but like caring about losing, it feels really good.
Yeah, it's a different type of care. Again, like it's not like it's a care of like this is why this team sucks and damn you, Ben Cherington. Mm-hmm. It's one like this escaped them. Like they could have. This is a big week for them in the standings. Talking about the NL Central, maybe send themselves apart or whatever. Because we're talking about playoffs. We're talking about bigger expectations, not just whoa me, Pittsburgh Pirates fans.
Yeah. Yep. Well, do you have anything else, DiNardo, or should we get out of here?
I really don't. I mean, tomorrow, again, it's a TBD, but it seems as if Braxton Ashcraft will probably be pitching. FanDuel right now has the Pirates minus 166 money line. If he is back and pitching, I mean, you can make the argument, right? Braxton Ashcraft is looking just as good as Paul Skeens at this point. Now, I'm not trying to say he is Paul Skeens or, he is as talented as good, but Braxton is as good as anyone right now in baseball as far as pitcher. So this is the first time the Pirates have lost back-to-back games since game 2, right? The 2 they lost against the Mets. You're looking for a stopper. I mean, Braxton can certainly be that guy. So I know they lost today. They can still take 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4 versus the Cardinals. Braxton could step up in a big way and help doing that today and stop this losing streak. Again, that's one thing we talk about this team. Like, I think the biggest difference with this team and last year is they can end the prolonged losing streaks. This is probably a team that's not going to have a 5, 6, 7 long run of losing. They get Ashcraft in here, they win tomorrow's game, then boom, back of the win column, go to game 3 against the Cardinals.
Yep. And just like how Tomlin used to take away the foosball table, I think Kelly has to take away the bouncy house. No more bouncy house.
This is on you, Connor. No, this is on the Griffins for having their child born this time of the year and celebrating their 20th birthday. This is on the parents. They didn't have Connor Griffin this time. Should have had his birthday in the offseason.
Yeah, what the heck? Like, should have been 20 coming into the year. He would have been mashing.
Yeah, how dare them allow him to celebrate his birthday and have a bouncy house in there? No, the bouncy house is great also.
Oh, it was fantastic. I loved it.
That's one thing I do like about this clubhouse and team.
No, I am all for fun in the clubhouse, especially if we get good results. And tonight is not, I am confident the Pirates can come back and they're going to be mentally fine tomorrow. And we're better than the Cardinals. Like we're man to man, we are better than this team. So I feel good about the rest of the series.
Absolutely. It's one game.
Yep.
Move on. That's it. It stinks, but it is just one game. Take 2 out of the next 3. Hell, take 3 out of the next 3, and you're still cooking. And both of those things I just mentioned are very feasible things that can be accomplished.
Exactly. Yeah. Keep taking 2 of 4, 2 of 3, or whatever. You're going to be in a playoff spot next year.
Yep.
But let's get out of here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. I'm Neil. This is DiNardo. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.